The 1980s was a decade that defined things to come. It was a period of groundbreaking entertainment, innovative toys, and cultural phenomena that became instant obsessions for kids everywhere. From revolutionary video games to becoming a DJ in your own right, here is a list of 10 things kids were utterly obsessed with in the 1980s. Number 1. Saturday morning cartoons. For kids in the 1980s, Saturday mornings weren't just a day of the week. There was something about it they'd all look forward to. In an American household on a typical Saturday morning, kids wake up before their parents, grab a giant bowl of sugary cereal, the kind with the cartoon characters on the box of course, and plant themselves in front of the television. What are they watching? Different mix of cartoons. The 80s were a golden age for Saturday morning cartoons. Kids get to watch classics such as Scooby-Doo, The Smurfs, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the Transformers, the Jetsons, and the Super Friends. There was so much to pick from. These shows became synonymous with the culture of the 1980s. They shaped the imagination of kids and introduced characters that remain etched in our memories to this day. And the theme songs? They were evergreen. The animation was vibrant and the stories were filled with action and humor, just as kids love them. Saturday morning cartoons were more than just a pastime. They were a shared experience, a weekly gathering where kids across the country all tuned into the same shows, creating a collective memory that still resonates today. It was something that every kid in every part of the country was collectively obsessed with. Speaking of a shared obsession, have you played with a Nintendo before? Number 2. Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. Before PlayStation 5 and other multiplayer games with hyper-realistic graphics, there was a Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in 1985, NES was more than just a gaming console for kids in the 1980s. It was a revolution. The NES single-handedly revived the home video game market after the crash of the early 80s, turning living rooms into personal arcades and forever changing the way kids played games. The NES was home to some of the most iconic video games of all time. Everyone who lived in the era must remember playing Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Castlevania, Mega Man, and who can forget that dog who laughed at us in Duck Hunt. What made these consoles popular was the experience they provided. It fostered a sense of camaraderie amongst many Americans. Kids would gather around the TV with their friends and take turns. It's even more pronounced when a child is celebrating their birthday and has friends over to celebrate. You can bet that they all would line up in front of the TV waiting for their turn. And nothing united them more than mastering those challenging levels, beating the existing high score, and another person taking up the pad to also beat that new high score. The NES transformed gaming from a niche hobby into a mainstream obsession, and its impact on the industry is still felt today. But before home consoles dominated the gaming landscape, there was another place where kids flocked to satisfy their gaming obsession. Number 3. Arcades. Before the NES brought the gaming home, the arcade was the place to be. They were vibrant, dimly lit, but filled with a variety of lights from the multitude of video games present. Then, when you start to hear those intoxicating sounds of electronic beeps and boops, the clang of the coins dropping into the slots, you get hooked. It is common to find children cheering and jumping for joy when they finally beat that challenging level or beat a new high score. Games like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, Space Invaders, and Mrs. Pac-Man were the kings and queens of the arcade. Kids would spend hours mastering these games, competing with friends for the top spot on the leaderboard. When they ask their parents for an allowance, just know that they are likely to head to the arcade the second they receive that money. But beyond that, arcades weren't just about playing games. The social experience contributed to its popularity. It was a place to hang out. Some parents promised to take their kids to the arcade if they did well in school. It also gave a sense of community. The arcade was a place where friendships were forged, rivalries were born, and legends were made. However, video games were not the only things kids were obsessed with in the 1980s. Number 4. MTV. Before YouTube and streaming services, there was MTV. Launched in 1981, music television revolutionized the way kids experienced music. It wasn't just about listening to the songs anymore. It was more about seeing them. With MTV, you get to see what you're listening to. And that, to many people, was fancy and astonishing. This shaped a new generation of opinion that sometimes music videos define the intent of greatness of a song. Artists like Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, and Duran Duran became global superstars thanks to their visually stunning and often groundbreaking music videos. MTV was a cultural force. It dictated fashion trends, introduced kids to new genres of music, and gave them a glimpse into the lives of their favorite artists. It was a constant presence in the background of daily life, shaping the way kids thought about music, style, and popular culture. But before MTV brought music to the masses, kids had a more personal way of sharing their favorite tunes. They were basically DJs in their own space. Number 5, mixtapes. In the 1980s, people didn't have Spotify or YouTube Music to curate a playlist for them. You have to become a DJ and make yourself one. The mixtape was an art form. It was laborious, but it had a powerful form of expression. It also showed your music taste. Kids would spend hours recording songs off the radio, carefully selecting each track to create the perfect soundtrack for a specific mood, occasion, or, most importantly, to express their feelings to someone special. A mixtape wasn't just a collection of songs. It was a message. The order of the tracks and the transitions between them showed elegance and style. You could use a mixtape in many different ways. It could be a declaration of love, a heartfelt apology, a celebration of friendship, or simply a way to share your favorite music with someone you cared about. It was a deeply personal and intimate form of communication, a means of connecting with others through the power of music. Still on the subject of music, we cannot talk about the music listening experience in the 1980s without mentioning the Walkman. Number 6, the Walkman. With smartphones, the world is now basically in your pocket. You can just pick it up and listen to anything you want. But before that, there was the Walkman. The Walkman is a portable cassette player, released by Sony in 1979. It gave kids and even adults a newfound sense of musical independence and the freedom to take their tunes with them wherever they went. With this innovation, music wasn't just something you listened to at home. It was a constant companion. You could listen to your favorite bands on the bus, while walking to school, or even while doing your homework. It allowed kids to curate their own soundtracks to their taste. They don't have to listen to the same sound their parents keep playing every other day at home. As one would expect, music wasn't the only things parents played at home. Families gather around the TV to watch movies, and there is one place they go to get the latest ones. Number 7, Blockbuster video rental stores. In the 1980s, Netflix and on-demand stream were not a thing. Blockbuster video rental stores were the ultimate movie destination. Walking into a Blockbuster was like entering a treasure trove of endless cinematic possibilities. In a typical store, you get to see rows upon rows of VHS tapes lined up on the shelves. You then walk around to pick up one that catches your fancy, or the one your friend recommended the previous day. The Friday night trip to Blockbuster was a family ritual. Kids would stand near the covers debating which movie to rent. It is common to see parents trying to steer them away from the rated R section. The excitement of finally choosing a movie, the anticipation of popping the tape into the VCR, and the shared experience of watching it together as a family are memories that deeply ingrained in the minds of 80s kids. Blockbuster afforded families the time to bond, laugh, and make a decision together. Because a bad decision means you get to watch a really terrible movie for the weekend. Thus, these stores became the source of joy to kids in that era. And speaking of things that sparked joy and created a sense of wonder, our next obsession was a toy that came with its own unique identity. Number 8, Cabbage Patch Kids. Cabbage Patch Kids dolls were soft sculpture dolls, each with its own unique name and birth certificate. This unique creation sparked a craze in the 1980s. Kids didn't just want a Cabbage Patch Kid. You rarely go into an American home without finding one there. Each doll was different, with its own distinct features and personalities. The process of getting the doll also has its uniqueness. You have to adopt the doll as if you were adopting a child. The adoption papers made kids feel like they were truly caring for a unique and special child. And as a result, the dolls weren't just toys. They were members of the family. And while we're still on the subject of uniqueness in the 1980s, this next item certainly qualifies as unique. Number 9. Trapper Keepers. Trapper Keeper was a type of binder that made your work look organized to the T. In essence, it was a command center. With its bright, eye-catching design and its ingenious system of folders and compartments, the Trapper Keeper made kids feel like they were in control of their school lives. Kids would carefully select their Trapper Keeper, choosing from a wide array of designs. And there were plenty to choose from. You could get unicorns, race cars, or any of your favorite cartoon characters. You take one good look at a kid's binder, and you can tell what they like and what they don't like. It shows who they were. And finally, to round out our list of 1980s obsessions, we have a puzzle that changed minds and frustrated millions of kids. Number 10, the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube, invented in 1974 and achieving its peak popularity in the 1980s, tested the patience and problem-solving skills of children around the world. It was frustrating just as much as it was addictive. The Rubik's Cube wasn't just about solving a puzzle. It was about the challenge it presented. It was about pushing yourself to your limits, and then the satisfaction and joy that surface when you finally get everything right and all the colors line up. The cube became a symbol of the 80s, a testament to the decade's fascination with technology and innovation. Every American home had it, and kids loved to play with it, especially when they want to keep their hands busy. And there you have it, 10 things kids were completely obsessed with in the 1980s. Which of these 80s obsessions do you remember most fondly? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more.